Welcome back to Breaking Borderlands. In our last episode, you saw us do the eridium cartels, or at least the hideout, which I've gone ahead and I've talked to Maurice to reenact that. Excuse me. So we have that running in the background. Now we are going to continue with the director's cut. But in our first mission for it, where we got our revolter, we were on Promethea. So now we're going to Eden 6. Specifically, we're going to one of my favorite maps, the Voracious Canopy. Why is it one of my favorites, you say? Well, reason number one. The main storyline boss here, Genevieve, after Mayhem 6, I want to say, starts dropping the reflux shotgun. Excuse me. The reflux is kind of like the Brainstormer shotgun, both of them made by Hyperion, but instead of it doing electricity between close-standing foes, it does corrosion and much better damage. Honestly, I would love to have a Gamma Burst version of that. It would be rather devastating just because that way you're spreading the corrosion through the connecting beams, and then you're spreading the radiation, which also just spreads more radiation and does even more damage, and then there's the explosions that happen. It is gorgeous as well, quite a light show. So, 10 out of 10 would recommend. Everybody should have a reflux. I'm just not farming that right now. Reason number 2. It is the home of the Jabbermogwai, an infinitely farmable elite enemy. And third, it is also where we can do the eridium farm. Now, where we're supposed to go is right here. But I'm not going to pass up the opportunity. Really? If you're going to keep giving me free tasers, I'm just going to shoot them. So yeah, always remember to hit your respawn. But now you can see that they're... Did they give me every single one of them? No, they did not. But you can see the ones that are here. The ones that you can't see that are here are still here. For example. Now you see I got a measly amount from that. The reason being is because I don't have any melee elemental damages right now. So what we can do is we can put on our URAD weapon, our front loader shield, and then we can put on our stone commander planetoid. I have a corrosive. So now, while I'm holding my URAD weapon... excuse me. My breakfast is not agreeing with me. Because we're holding the URAD weapon and we're under 50% health, we're doing radiation damage. We're also guaranteed to be doing corrosive damage because of the stone, and then Commander Planetoid, as long as it doesn't match one of those other two, is a third option, which odds are it's not. So now, exponentially more. So, it is also possible, if you're playing Moze, you don't need the front loader shield, so you could throw on a Revolter, and then activate Iron Cub or Iron Bear. Iron Cub would be better just because then you'd have more time with the added electricity damage. But then you're also rolling the dice on the fact that you have 3 of the elements already covered. The Commander Planetoid is probably going to match one of them at that point. Excuse me. But it's still extra damage. Another way that you could handle it is take a static charge and something stone. As long as it's not a shock stone static charge, because then you're doubling up on the electricity damage, doesn't work. But, you know, let's say that you got a firestone static charge. Now you're doing fire, you're doing electricity, and then you could throw in the URAD to give yourself radiation. That's the idea. And then the best part about it is, if you're farming it, to save a loading screen, you can just go to Mayhem 10. It's the same amount of eridium, and then do it again, and then switch back to Mayhem 11. All of them will respawn. But that is not what we are doing right now. I haven't collected this, so I'm going to real quick.
I suspect that some
1 second. Because I will forget to switch everything back if I don't do it now. The Wish. And we'll go with our Atom Bomb Victory Rush.
I've seen them acting of their own accord and even heard them speak.
Yeah, it takes us down towards Genevieve, which is not where we're heading. Oh, pardon me. Finally over a cold, and now my allergies are trying to take over. But now we're actually going to go to Enoch's. Because why not? I just wanted to show that off again. I mean, everybody's shown it off before. It's just a nice little reminder of that's the best place to farm eridium. So, now here we are, Enoch's. I apologize if the video gets a little long just because I threw in that tidbit. But, any chance I'm close to that spot, it's eridium. I mean, why not? It's a good amount of eridium. Like, I'm gonna need it. You're gonna spend it. It is very expensive to re-roll for your anointments. But, totally worth it in most circumstances. Mind you, I've had weapons that I've re-rolled for days trying to get the right anointment, and then there's other ones I've rolled for an hour. So, it's all on R and Jesus, and how much he loves you that day.
Today we're talking to Clay. He's a smuggler with a pistol. We don't know what's under those goggles. The supernatural reporter suspects it's a mischievous glint.
When she's right, she's right. Here's the rub. Friend of mine, he's disappeared. He left me this message.
So let's listen to his message.
This might be the last time I can own my words, Clay, so I'm using it to say goodbye. I made a pact with someone. And though I earn my dark wages with darker toil, I fear the only work they now desire is my final silence. If you need answers, come to my cabin.
You know this man. Are there any clues in his words?
He mentioned a pact. It's a loaded word in this part.
Indeed.
All sorts of implications.
Supernatural implications?
For some, I only trust what my eyes and ears tell me. But if business says he's in trouble, we gotta find him and free him from this pact. Natural or otherwise.
So, now we just go ahead and follow Clay.
The grove won't make a path for us in the summertime. We have to cut out the
Good thing my gun has a bayonet.
Shed some light on the shaded secrets lying beneath the canopy of Veiled Six. Whispers of witch covens, of ancient rituals and curses passed down generations. If his had waded into these dark waters, he may have found them deeper than he could have imagined.
I'm coming for you.
I was just getting a good vantage spot, really. After all, you want the high ground. And no, I'm not making a Star Wars pun. It's just the art of war. Now, I always despise doing battle on Eden 6. Simply because I like to throw out a lot of elemental damage. And there's always water everywhere and it'll down me if I go in my own puddles. But at the same time, it's rather advantageous whenever they're standing in my puddles. Did I even... Okay, cool. I was just trying to get that sharpshooter. Pardon me. Uh-oh, someone's angry. I'm gonna let the guy with the plot armor get my, jabber up. Okay. Now this can get a little confusing because there's sharpshooters everywhere that still count as being in the part of the swamp, but we're trying to clear this whole area, so... Ooh, both the biggins and ow! Alright. So now we should be able to move on to the next area. Even more bandits. I'll just keep firing wildly into the sky. That's really the idea. Ow! Hit if you didn't. Now, luckily, I've got 2 allies to get me up, but I don't know how many allies they have, and that'd be some useful information right now.
Let the hunt take you.
Coming at you.
And you know I had to catch it. Alright. If you get the reference, we can be friends. Will they ever end? Excuse me, but would you mind paying attention to the jabber? Just a little bit of overkill. No kill quite like it. Alright. Now when you reach the cabin, it's important to check the door first. Because if you're in a speedrunning mood, you get into a habit of just jumping up here and... Yeah. Alright, and then once we're in, go ahead and unlock the door. And now we're looking for clues. I'm actually just trying to look for some loot. Alright, so first, this doesn't mean anything. First you're going to want to come into the bedroom and find some blood.
Just a flesh wound looks like. Still, I'm not keen on you.
'Tis only a flesh wound. There's the other one. Secret door. And then finally, the back door.
I think I found some clues. Let's compare notes.
Let's come talk to Clay. So now we head on. Grab anything that looks good. Sell any junk you got going for you. Yes, I need to give that to my Amara. Alright, so now moving on. Now we gotta deal with some wildlife. Always remember to look at your radar, not just for enemy placements, but legendaries. So now moving on. Yeah, what did happen? How did my jabber go down? I'm not sure what happened there. Really, Clay? You better get me up. You can go walk out in front of me like this Call of Duty or something. Okay, I was strafing his direction too. That wasn't just his fault. I'll admit it. I'll admit it. Black hole. This is cooldown. No, that's not bad. I'd prefer it with action, skill, start, break. Go ahead and give me that extra damage going. Oh, come on. Something crit. Thank you. You know what? I will save the ammo. I appreciate it, actually. And kaboom. This would have been a really good spot for a Schluter, just because of all these vicious jabber in a row. The fact they're all elites, every single one of them should have dropped at least a purple. Mm-hmm. Yes, sir. Alright, moving on. Oh, come on. Don't mind me if my southern came out there for a second. Oh, echo log. Yep. Didn't see it because you won't until they says something. Pardon. Yeah, that is heavy. Not what I wanted to do. Alright. Why does that look like a church?
Yes, to the blood
Of the twins. Well. This just got weird.
Such fury.
You know, just to make fun of him. For a guy who works directly with Jacobs, you'd think they'd give him a better gun. Here I am doing all the work. Yeah. Creepy? That's all you have to say? Creepy? Anyway. Let's move forward. There should be a unique enemy. Excuse me. Jeez. Yep, there he is. The Gravekeeper. Now, I don't remember what he drops. But he drops a something. So, I might actually farm him just to see what it is. And report back in the next video. Unless that's what it is right there. Then we gonna go see it in the real time, not the next time.
I believe I can break this now.
Okay, yep, I thought so. Sorry, I need the purple stuff. So now, let's go see what goodie he dropped for me. And we got a Kill-O-The-Wisp. Basic world drop stuffs. Honestly, it's one of my favorite weapons I wish was better. The concept was great, it's underpowered. Alright, and now to Hizen's hunting cabin. That's funny. That's not funny. Oh, Hizen. It's a good question. Alright. So now you can go ahead and come out back. Now, I don't know about all of you guys, but if I was going to have a hunting cabin, I wouldn't have it right out back of my cabin. I might have a blind, but I ain't going to have a... I'm gonna just shoot out the window, even though that's illegal. I don't hunt for that very reason. Okay, I forgot. It's downstairs.
There, behind that bookcase.
So now, really?
Hizen was working for the COV.
Well, how about that?
Did like you said. Join these that. Then they got me showing their patrols how to track through the jungle. We'll keep them far from these coordinates. The grass ship. What does the jewel have? It is enough to know that they must not find it. It will change things so that the end will never be.
Hizen was talking to himself. Part of him must have known how learned it was.
Well, that's...
He must have been getting the information from somewhere.
There are plenty of demons that can chase a man without us needing to believe in power. Thank you for your help, Father. I needed these answers. Even if I didn't know they should.
A man's mind shatters in the twisting.
Such a dumb name. I love it. Alright, so red chest. That's actually the best drop rate I've ever gotten out of it. It's usually all purples for me. A quick shot with gamma burst on radiation. That's something. That... Okay, so... I talked about synergy in artifacts. Like, this is... I mean, if you were going for an incendiary Mose with some deathless boosts from the red tree, in other words, having 1 HP gives you more gun damage. That's not... That is good synergy in that, especially since you rolled it with area of effect, weapon accuracy, and incendiary damage, and you can make her splash damage. You know what? I'm gonna have another Mose build. But this is a really good synergy, just because elemental critical hits can cause status effects of that element to explode, blah blah blah. So, with this being a nuclear infinity, just laying down the trigger is going to allow you to get a good chance at critical hits, especially if you've got enhanced accuracy to make it as small as possible. Now, the only downside being, like, of course, we got lucky that this is a elemental infinity. So, if this was just a regular infinity with that anointment, completely wasted, unless you can put in incendiary damage like Mose can, or whatever element you're using like Amara can. The problem being is the critical hit has to be critical damage. The critical hit has to be the critical damage of the element, not just the gun. So it's still not the best, just because not only do you have to have the crit hit, but you also have to have the crit be lucky enough to be the radiation damage, not the bullet damage. Still, a really good synergy if you're running something like that. It would be really good to throw onto a light show, just because multiple pellets can hit and crit at the same time, so that's multiple chances for it to have that 500% Nova go off. Not to mention, with that 500% Nova going off, you're just doing more damage to the target the Nova spreads from, and anything standing next to. Honestly, that's the what I run on my Amara. So, yeah, good weapon. I'm not gonna make a build over an infinity. That's not crazy. I know people who do it, but... So now, we're gonna head back to Sanctuary. And we're going to pick up the next leg of this. I do believe, if we've been to Eden 6... What's the next one? The next one is actually on Pandora. So, that should be fun. But I'll pick it up from the surface of Pandora. That way we can show where to go from there. But hopefully you found this entertaining and informative, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.